Having just finished the sequel to Spider-Man, and with the final chapter being announced, I'd like to talk about some of the things that were mentioned within the confines of the endgame of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Of course, I feel like they were signaling that it's going to be Miles taking up the mantle of being the next Spider-Man for a while, as it seems like Peter is going to be taking a break to, I'm assuming, to continue the Emily May Foundation, as Miles is going to be fighting crime in the absence of Spider-Man. Well, obviously, they're both called Spider-Man. It's not like Peter is dead. Anyways, I'm going off on another tangent. At the end there, it seemed like Silk is going to be a playable character. Now, I don't know much on the character of Silk. All I know is she has, similar powers to Spider-Man, but in the sense that she only has the webbing and not so much the radioactive spider part, as she seems to have those powers naturally instead of being bitten by a radioactive spider. Alongside that, of course, obviously at the end there, with Osborn mentioning bring the G serum, we all know what's going to happen there, but I feel like it goes without saying that we're going to be getting Insomniac's take on the Goblin, which I'm basically pumped for. As far as I'm concerned, the way he's mechanically going to work, the only reference we got to what he's going to have in the way of, any form of gadget was the mask that MJ found from the first game on his desk, where it could, scan buildings for structural weaknesses, which I'm going to assume he's going to use that to his advantage, as he's probably going to bomb multiple places to get the intention of Spider-Man to fundamentally throw the city into chaos, as over the course of the game we're probably going to see Osborn become the Goblin as the serum takes hold, and he inevitably is going to wreak havoc to ruin both Peter and Miles' lives. Of course, I'm going to assume, to take the absence of Peter not being there, Silk's going to be taking Peter's place as the next playable character, but I don't think Insomniac's not going to have Peter as a playable character, honestly, because I can't not see as, Goblin kidnapping MJ, and then leading to the events of Peter hopping back in to be a playable character. So, not to mention, of course, then, Carnage being mentioned from the Followers of the Flame questline, but then again, I feel like he needs to go without mentioning, as he's, another villain, and of course, then, the Chameleon was mentioned as well. There's, so much things contained within so little time. It was, back-to-back. Goddamn boxing ring, just one after the other, how many shit's gonna be in this game. I don't know if, mechanically, the game's gonna change too much from what we have now, but I really hope it does, as I swear, on God, the amount of times I'm starting a combo for those heavy units just to kick me out of it. It's like, oh, you're doing a 5-hit combo. Allow me just to fucking kick you out of it, because, it's fun not being able to play the game when you got, 6 enemies on you all at once, just fucking kicking Spider-Man to the ground repeatedly and just kicking him while he's down. Sorry. Man, I just really hate those heavy units, man. Let me tell you what. This whole video is just... it's a mess, but hopefully some people can find some valid points to talk about in the comments, as I honestly just want to hear your guys' opinions on it. As I'm hyped to see how they're going to use Carnage, more importantly, with the sense of him being, from the comic part of what I've seen, a mass murderer and all that, but that's not the whole point. The symbiote side of Carnage, with how many weapons he wielded within the comics and how he's going to mechanically play as a boss, I'm going to assume he's probably going to be a multiple stage boss fight where he's going to be wielding weapons we've faced before or are going to face throughout the enemies throughout the course of the game. And then he's going to have different enemies, different stages that you're going to have to face off against. You're going to have to parry some, block some, and then, it's going to leave it open to attack. But as far as I'm concerned for how Goblin's going to work, I don't know, Chief. You got me stumped there. As, they just announced him, and prior to that, we've seen, absolutely nothing in regards to it, except for, hints that he's gonna have, goblin bombs and, of course, the mask. But is it gonna be, a mech suit kind of situation, where the suit's going to have those powers, or is he just actually gonna have, the green skin, pointed ears, the goblin, instead of, the suit looking like the goblin? To the extent of how visual changes underneath the mask is Osborn going to look like. And are we also going to be getting the Hobgoblin? I doubt it. At the stage of Harry, the way Harry looked at the end of the game, I doubt we're going to be getting Hobgoblin, as I'm going to assume Osborn's going to be testing the serum on himself, and then we're not going to be able to maybe get Hobgoblin. That's probably be like huffing copium at this point that we're going to be getting, like, even Hobgoblin. And also, then again, Chameleon was mentioned as another villain, but I don't know if he's going to be in there, as, like, a lot of people are just talking about Carnage and Goblin being the main two villains. Obviously, I mean, that needs to go without saying, but Chameleon's another mainline villain that was in there, similar to Kraven. I don't know. But man, I am hyped to say the least. So, if you found this rant the least bit interesting, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, the usual. And I'll catch you when that Wolverine game comes out, as Insomniac's closing the chapter on Spider-Man, leading us into the Wolverine game they announced. And I have, like, absolutely no clue what they intend to do with that, but all I know is it's canon to this universe, and if the way they've been handling Spider-Man's any indication as to what they have in store for us, I am absolutely pumped, to say the least, to see what they have in store for Wolverine and his storyline, and how this ties into the events that happened in New York, and if we're going to be getting a game on the Avengers. I should probably just end it here now, as I already said, closing statements. This is probably going to be going on for another hour if I continue to keep talking, as I am just absolutely pumped to see what they have in store. So yeah. Before I continue any further, as this is probably going to turn into a rant, it's going to be an hour long, I'm going to end it here. Bye.